3, 2, 1.
Hi, beautiful women out there. Wonderful women out there. Welcome again with me on this show, Motherhood Moment with May. So today I want us to complete the series we started last week. We talked about the 6 wonderful gifts that God has given to us women. So the series started in my last video, which was the last episode that I did, and I talked about the first 3 out of the 6 gifts, that God specially blessed women with. So in this episode, we will be talking and we will be looking into the remaining 3. So let's do it. Are you ready for this? So before I go on, can I just ask you, lovely women, apart from the previous gifts that I mentioned, I want you to think, what are the gifts that God has specially given to you as a woman? What are the blessings? What are the gifts that you know that you have as a woman and are wonderfully given to you by God? So if you know them, just type them in the box below, in the comment box below, and let me read about them. Because you are right, God has actually made you beautiful. Okay, so I want you to know that we are all blessed as women, and God is so mindful of us. So out of all the blessings that God gives to human beings, especially give strength to women as well. So number 4 out of the gifts is strength. So you may never be physically strong enough to become a Navy SEAL, but wouldn't you love to see a Navy SEAL give birth? Wouldn't you love to see a Navy SEAL fly a plane? Women are every bit as strong as men. I want us to know this, but in a different way. And that's okay. That's okay. Watching women try to outdo men in a physical contest can be cringe-worthy, because women and men are designed by God to complement each other, with their strengths. He did not create us to compete. God has created us together to complement ourselves. So that's not to say a woman can't be physically strong or even lift a weight and get big muscles if she wants. But you are missing the point of being a woman if you're constantly trying to prove something to a man or even to yourself in comparison to men. So the strength, God has given to us women is evidenced through traits like resilience, fortitude, loyalty, compassion, creativity, perception, even, name it. But men has abused it, whereas women too abused these gifts. So I believe you remember, a girl that was mean to you, probably when you were young or something. You never even forget their names. Weak women work to control others, but strong women work to control themselves, and this is vital. So the world tries to control the definition and perceptions of the word like strong and beautiful, and that can make us as women feel like we are neither. So when the opposite is true, if you're godly, believe you're strong, you're beautiful, and you are a woman. So the world needs the strength, woman's strengths, in this world. God has a plan for your strength as a woman to affect even his kingdom. And that in of itself is enough to keep you busy for the rest of your life. So your strength is a special button that God has implemented in your being. He deliberately gave us the inner and the outer strength to be able to function in our called ministry of motherhood and womanhood as well. So be mindful of this, my beautiful and adorable women. Know that you are made with strength, God-given strength, and this is being renewed every day of your life. So the next gift that I'm going to mention, I'm confident to speak about our vulnerability. Women are made vulnerable. Yes, we are, and it's a gift. But being vulnerable doesn't always feel like a beautiful gift, it doesn't. Some of the worst pain, in a woman can experience in this world comes because we allowed ourselves to be vulnerable, and someone out there exploited it. So women and men can both be vulnerable, although men tend to hold it back and hide it better, while women are more emotional. And sometimes it feels like we just can't help but wear our hearts, on our sleeves. Whereas a woman might say, I love you, too soon in a relationship, but a man might never say it. Of course, opening yourself isn't bad unless you open yourself too soon or to a wrong person. But in spite of all the risks, most women have a willingness, and a courage to be vulnerable again and again that even men struggle with. So some of that has to do with social expectations and even social pressures. But because women tend to have the emotional permission to express themselves and the inherent design from the Lord, to be more in touch with their emotions, being vulnerable comes easier. It does come easier for us women. But I want you to know that being vulnerable means that you give others permission to be vulnerable too. So let's be mindful. Safe doing so. To be real, let's be aware of that. Vulnerability breeds vulnerability, and women have an ability to create space for connection and authenticity just by speaking the truth about themselves. How amazing that is. So your ability to be vulnerable is a beautiful gift. Don't get me wrong, but it's not one that should be given to everyone. So be careful. Be careful with your heart. Thank you. So my next point is femininity. So women are better than more like this. Men have abused the power and the authority God gave to them, especially physical power. And eventually women fought back. But using the power and authority God gave us, emotional power as well. So our femininity is a gift from God. Even if the world has tried to convince us otherwise, you don't need to make up. You don't need to have a long hair or big breasts. You don't need to have great clothing or anything else. What makes you a woman is what God puts inside of you. It starts with your XX chromosomes. You can actually be a tomboy or a firefighter or a president or a pig farmer. You can be a mother or never have children, but your femininity is still intact because God has put inside of you that strength. He has put intelligence, discernment, sensitivity inside of you. So you are unique, you are distinct. And these are much needed reflections of God's wondrous works. So all these gifts are special gifts from God to women. So I want to encourage us to use this gift confidently and with power. Don't let anyone question you about your intelligence just because you are not a man. Don't let yourself forget that you, just as God created Adam, He created Eve also. So both partners equally emulate the traits that make our God so worthy of praise and so life-giving to this world as well. Although your femininity may be something else to the society that no one can take away from God. God has actually given us to us. So you don't need to fight for it. You simply need to hone it. You need to learn about what it is and how to use it in a godly way. So leave it and stop apologizing for it. So today I'm just trying to encourage us as women that we should always stay positive. Let's be intrigued about the promises of God for us. Remember, you are made beautifully. Women are created beautifully. Always remember this and celebrate yourself if you agree with me. Celebrate yourself. Be proud of yourself. Try beyond human imaginations. And it shall be well with us. Thank you so much for listening and thank you so much for watching this episode. Don't forget to subscribe and share these messages. The first episode was actually delivered last week. You can actually tag someone, share it with your friends, with your women out there, and let them get inspired. So until I come again to your screen, please stay safe and remain blessed because you are loved. I love you so much, women. God bless you. Have a lovely day.